have been happening front, right, center, from one party to another. We've been hearing about mergers, we've been hearing about coalitions, we've been hearing a lot. And of course, it is very much expected, being that this is the eve of the 2019 general elections. We see recurrence of the happenings that was there in 2014 and 2015 having the same part to play come 2018, 2019. It's a wonderful one, we must say. We wake up every day to different stories. We hear about sieges in people's homes. We hear about the one that actually shocked us, siege to the National Assembly. There's been so much happening back and forth before that. And of course, with these defections that I mentioned earlier, one stood out quite significant as the number 3 citizen of this country decided that he was going to leave the All Progressive Congress to the People's Democratic Party. Now, questions have arose. What is the legality, if there is any, to said defection? These and more other topics, of course, are what we're going to be discussing on today's episode. We will be shedding more light on the fact that with the uncertainty surrounding the resumption of the National Assembly, today, it's just there's been a lot in the polity. Why should they reconvene today? Are they supposed to reconvene, having come out to give us a statement that they cannot reconvene on the INEC 2019 budget because, of course, the budget planning committees have not come out, to give proposal and present proposals to this two-chambered, as said in a statement by the Senate President and his deputy. One would ask, why are they coming back? There's been insinuations and counter-insinuations on the impeachment of the Senate President, if there's any, the reason why said defections are happening, and the fact that a particular seat should be declared vacant when a particular leader or senator defects. These and more questions will be discussed at the thrust of today's program. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, of course, we'll be having guests in the studio who will be shedding more light on this topic, legal practitioners who will give us the legality or otherwise of said issues that have been trending in the polity. If I am you, I would not want to go anywhere. I would sit, I'll be locked on this station because, of course, you need to know what to do come 2019. Do stay. It's time for a quick break.
Is it not even better that we have a corrupt man who know what we, the youth of Nigeria, want? Trump, as you are saying, Trump is corrupt. Now he's the best president so far. Look at the economy of USA. When the government, you understand, is afraid of the citizen, there is liberty, love, development, but in a situation whereby the citizen is afraid of the government, that is that tyranny. Nigeria is this is tyranny, era of tyranny. You understand? And you cannot take it away. As far as we Nigerians are concerned, Abacha is one of the best presidents we have, and Obasanjo, you understand? And Obasanjo, all these people are corrupt. So is it not better we even have people who they said is corrupt that will come and solve our problem in this country than people who say that they are sent, that things are not moving? Our economy is shut down, many things is shut down, nothing is working. So what are we now saying?
What we are passing through in Nigeria is, in fact, is not what we expected. You understand? Even so the Nigerian that voted for, because personally myself, I never voted for Buhari for one day. My vote was not casted for him because I know him right from history. When we were in Lagos, then there was a massive unemployment. Then there was no job. People suffer to eat. Then that was why I didn't give him one vote. And I am telling you, this one, I am not giving him one single vote. My community is not giving him one single vote.
Forget about people who see themselves as if they are the ones to decide. He said he's not going to vote for Buhari. That is left for him. He cannot say his community will not vote for Buhari because he don't know even his brother, his immediate brother, will like Buhari more than he did. You understand? That is how you think. We must pass through a wilderness to get to the promised land. What PDP has been doing to this country is only God. If you give them that chance again, we will derail. We'll get back to where we have been into. Yeah? So we better suffer it now and our future restored.
This government came on the promise that they are going to make Nigeria better. And on discovering, they discovered that there are a lot of messes, which to clean up that messes, it will not take 1 or 2 years, or even 3 years, or one single term. That will mean 4 years in government. But I discovered that by giving the government more
You're welcome back. Now, before we went on that quick break, I made mention of today's topic, which will be the National Assembly resumption. The uncertainties, concerning and surrounding said resumption. What is to be expected? What is going to happen? And like I said also before I went on that break, joining me in the studio right now is a legal practitioner who would shed more light, on the legality or otherwise of some insinuations that have been trending online in the polity. You're welcome to the studio, Max Oga.
Thanks for having me, Aisha.
It's a pleasure. Now, talking about today was supposed to be, the resumption, and then stories came out left, right, and center saying, this would not happen as is. These uncertainties, like when they're supposed to come back today, why are things not happening the way it should? Looking at the breakdown that has gone, from the National Assembly siege to the insinuations of, that happening because they wanted to unseat the Senate president. Let's look at that fora. What is the effect of this on the polity?
I see a bleak future for the polity. There's no certainty that it will truly be bleak, but that's what I see. There are too many uncertainties. To start with, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives gave a hint that the House may reconvene either today, Tuesday, the 14th of August 2018, or tomorrow, Wednesday, the 15th of August 2015. 18. And 18, I'm sorry. And shortly thereafter, the spokesman of the House of Representatives, came out to categorically say the House was not going to reconvene today, because the Speaker had said some leaders of the National Assembly met to agree that the House should reconvene either today or tomorrow. And the spokesperson of the House was very categorical. He said you don't need some leaders of the National Assembly to reconvene the House. You need all the leaders to reconvene the House. Now, there are too many suspicions here and there. You are aware that 2 senators are in court. The fear that there will be an impeachment of the Senate president. So with this cloud hanging in the air, I don't see the National Assembly reconvening
anytime soon.
Okay,
let's look at this.
And of course, let me touch one other issue. The fear that the Senate president was to be removed last week is unfounded, right? The House did not reconvene, the Senate rather, did not reconvene last week. There was no circular, there was no information from the clerk of the National Assembly. There was no order by the Senate president, who is the chairman of the National Assembly, reconvening the House. All the Senate president did was to call for a leadership meeting of the National Assembly. And the leadership of the National Assembly is made up of principal officers alone. And that meeting was slated for 12 noon on Tuesday last week. Right? So what happened on Tuesday? Some members of the Senate, some members of the House of Representatives of PDP extraction, who are not part of the leadership of the National Assembly, getting to the National Assembly as early as 6 a.m., in my opinion, amounted to what Chuba Kadibo described in his time as unnecessary alarmism. Right? You know, so people should not overheat. Nobody can reconvene the National Assembly other than the Senate President. Nobody can reconvene the House of Representatives other than the Speaker. And that must be done in conjunction with the Clerk of the National Assembly, who must notify all members. So none of these things, you know, has taken place or have taken place. None. I mean, none of this has taken place. You know, so we should not be unnecessarily agitated, thereby heating up the polity. That's
okay. Now you're saying that it was unwarranted, you know, what happened last week, that could have been prevented. Let's look at the statement, you know, that came out saying that they were supposed to reconvene concerning the urgency with the INEC budget that they were supposed to come, you know, sit on. And they came out to say that since the committees, the budget planning committees have not come up with a report, it would be unfair to call back, you know, everyone to come and sit and all of that. Don't you think that looking at where we are, the timeline that we have right now, let's not even go into the figure that, you know, has been appropriated to INEC, don't you feel that it is emergent or it is needed for the House to sit to be able to lay that particular aspect to bed so we can be looking forward to 2019 elections?
No. The need for the House to reconvene and look into the INEC budget, right, is, I mean, that need cannot be overemphasized. You understand? There's a need for both chambers of the National Assembly to, I mean, to come back and look at that. But a lot is happening behind the scene, right? That is making it difficult. Let me not say impossible for the House to reconvene. There are too many fears here and there, right? Now, without pretending, without taking side with anyone, none of the two major parties or the contending parties, the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party, has the number to remove the Senate President, right? By the decision of the Court of Appeal, in the case of the National Assembly and the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the 2003 decision of the Court of Appeal, you require 73 senators and 240 members of the House of Representatives to remove the leadership of the House or to veto the President, right? So if members of the PDP or supporters of Bukola Saraki, let me put it that way, if they know that, look, our opponents cannot garner 73 votes, then why the fear? Why the fear? You know, let them meet and nobody will be backed up by Nigerians or by the law to forcefully remove any leader of the National Assembly. So if we are afraid, we don't want to reconvene the National Assembly now because some people will forcefully remove the Senate President, then what will happen post September 26, when the House ordinarily is supposed to come back and reconvene? Do you understand? So let's go and face whatever we have to face now in the interest of our country.
Okay, that is quite a very salient point, as you made mention, you know, there. Let's listen to the ordinary Nigerians, the people that elected this representative, that as we are insinuating are scared, you know, to go and see what's happening. Nigerians out there have made mention of the fact that there's a lot of drama, you know, that is to be expected come either, you know, today or tomorrow, as it's been uncertain. We don't know what's happening. Currently, our correspondents are on ground in the National Assembly waiting to see, you know, if there will be any action or inaction, you know, on their part. But let's take a look at this report where ordinary Nigerians have made their views known and their fear, of course, of the drama that is to happen.
After the defection and subsequent siege on the National Assembly, these Nigerians are left with no other choice than to expect another drama as the National Assembly looks forward to reconvening this week.
Well, for me, I would say the senators or members of the National Assembly, they have Nigeria at heart. And if they don't have Nigeria at heart, they wouldn't have convened at the first place. So I think they have Nigeria at heart. Just that the government or the power that may be should allow them to carry out their duty the way it should be. They should allow them to do things the way it's expected of them.
The crisis in that National Assembly now, to my view, I'm seeing it, there are some people are distracting them. Be a party chairman, be or this or that, does not give you the rule to say this must happen and it must happen. It's unfair. People elected that man there. If he's not doing well, you come out and tell him, hey, okay, you're not doing well. If Senate President have not been doing doing well for 3 years, this is the 4th year that's coming. And for 3 years, they did not complain. They should remove him. They should impeach him. And now Nigeria needs favor. Now Nigeria wants you to do something for us. You are using impeachment as a bucket, or as just your thought, or what you just really want to do to create leaders from planning on how to help Nigerians.
No, leadership crisis. Who make that leadership crisis is Saraki. Saraki is when he enter that place. We never see what Saraki do because to work for Nigerians. I never see him. He enter that place with Magumagu. He still continue with Magumagu to stay here to finish Buhari government. So I never see anything Saraki they do there. Because it's one idea for Nigeria. I never see where they bring budget to stay for National Assembly for 7 years, 7 months. I never see him. My advice is to remove him. It's not helping matter. Make them remove him. It's not helping matter. It's not helping matter. Saraki is a problem to Nigerians.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I expected not to see because we should remember, could recall back 2014-2015 when Tambawa defected to APC. There was no any magic. I don't know, because it's a democratic system where we're in democracy. So, and the constitution says whether there is a fraction in between the parties, understand, they can defect. And I think there was fraction between the PDP, by then it defected. And the same thing happened under APC. There was fraction. We have Reform APC and APC. And Reform APC took the APC to court. And we have other parallel Congress in APC when there was to show that there was fraction in the party. So, by that constitution can defect. But the issue of other PDP defecting, so there are no constitutionally, and they say constitution by under 2/3 of the minority can remove the Senate President. I don't think under the law they have the right to remove him through the back door.
I got information that on Wednesday they are reconvening, but I know that the National Assembly has the maturity to handle the affairs, and maybe some people are planning to carry out a coup or to overhaul or overthrow the leadership of the National Assembly. But I know that until the National Assembly reconvenes, we should know who are in majority by counting those who are in majority. Right now, we don't know. It's an elusive thing. Nobody knows who is in majority, whether APC or PDP. So it's on speculation. It's been speculated. When we get there on Wednesday, according to the Senate President, they will know whether they have 73 numbers to carry out to impeach the President of the Senate.
They urge politicians to place national interest over personal interest.
They should not forget we, the Nigerians. We are there. Yes, they should talk of national security, vote and all that, but they should not forget that we, the human beings, we are still human beings, and somebody need to talk about us, the human beings.
They should come reconvene and sit as able to approve the INEC fund they needed for the election, so we can move this country forward. They should not hold us to standstill.
I'm bent that the senators are listening to the yearning of Nigerians, and they want to let the security forces, the power that may be, just stay aside and allow them to carry their job.
As the National Assembly prepares to reconvene, stakeholders are of the view that the law should be allowed to prevail over personal interest. Emmanuel Hejine, PTV News, Abuja.
And coming to join us, of course, has been Festus Onifade. These are two legal practitioners that would shed more light on the legality or otherwise of the situation that has been happening in the polity. You're welcome, Festus.
Thank you.
Come join us. And of course, Max has, being here with us before the break started. Now, let's take some steps back. Let's look at the worries, even what people are making mention of, the fact that the Senate President, the fear, you made mention of it, that the fear of the Senate President, to be impeached, that is what's happening or preventing some of the lawmakers. Now let's look at his defection. Let's look at Section 68, Chapter 5, Part 1 of Section 68, the way that a seat can be made vacant. And then we had paragraph G made mention of the fact, gave provision for defection, actually. Where it made mention of the fact that
where there's a division in the
yes,
political party.
or a merger. So now let's look at what happened with RAPC. Let's look at the situation first with the APC to the PDP, and then look at the PDP to the APC. Okay, would you say that has that been satisfied?
Well, in my opinion, there's no division in the there's no faction in the APC, right? There's no faction in the APC, but that in itself does not invalidate the defection. Remember that before now, a good number of people left the PDP. Joshua Daria, for instance, who was elected under the platform of the Labour Party, left the Labour Party and joined the APC. Senator Omo Agigi also left the Labour Party and joined the APC. Senator John Owaneno left PDP and joined the APC. Hope Uzodimma left the PDP and joined the APC. Senator Andy Uba, Anambra, left the PDP and joined the APC. Senator, what's her name from Anambra? Stella Udua, left the PDP and joined APGA and all of that. And nobody declared anyone's seat vacant. Even backward in the 7th Assembly, Professor Boroface left the Labour Party and joined the APC. Senator David Mark, who was the Senate President then, did not declare his seat vacant, and all of that. So yes, the law says, Section 68, like you said, and even judicial authorities say you cannot leave unless there's a division. But we have had cases where people left and nothing, nothing happened. So heaven shouldn't fall at this time.
Okay, yes, we'll make mention of the fact that, okay, this is what the law provides. And you have legal practitioners coming out, to call for said, light to be shared. One of your colleagues, exactly, one of your colleagues even did that, Frank Tete. And so that even opens our mind, especially the ordinary Nigerians that did not know. Legal practitioners like you knew about this section, but ordinary Nigerians, never knew about that. Now they know that this had been there. Yes, it has been ignored in the past. Should we, follow that trend and continue, especially now where the leadership, is affected?
For me, I would say it's not really healthy for our polity. Continuous defection is not healthy, because at the end of the day, what are we trying to do? We are trying to build political ideology. We are trying to build political blocks and say, okay, to the right, to the left, these are the progressive and all that. But as it seems today, there is no clear division between the major political parties.
Not at all.
Everybody can crisscross whichever political party, depending on where their interest is best suited. So it's not about my interest or your interest or the interest of Nigerians. It's about what suits them. So for me, it's not very healthy. However, as it stands today, what the law provides is that once there is a division, and for me, my take is that on this issue of divisions, this issue of defection, you see, there have been a lot of judicial interpretation, whether the division has to be total. Just like my colleague here said, a lot of people are defected earlier. So, is it a mere minor disagreement or total division within the party that can lead you to defect? Now, for me, once there are some infractions within that political party and you think, I'm not comfortable here, as it stands, you can defect. So the law permits you to defect. However, the question is it healthy for our polity? I don't think so. I don't think it's something we should continue. I don't think it's a way we should tour. I think clearly there should be some kind of safeguard so that we can have a clear ideology. And you see, the fact, what makes a politician, what makes him defect from one political party to the other? What? As anybody says that Party A is not implementing this social agenda, is not following a welfareist agenda that he has said, as anybody come and say Party B is anti-people, So it's not about me and you. And so we need to go back to the drawing board and look for a way to really safeguard our polity. And you see, we are being taken for a ride. Nigerians have been taken for a ride, and so we need to wake up and say enough of this.
And do better.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Now, just to add to what Mr. Festus said. Yes, the statutory provisions are there prohibiting defection. Judicial authorities are there prohibiting defection. But in practice, the whole thing revolves around the discretion of a particular presiding officer. You are in trouble if you defect from the party where the presiding officer belongs. In the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, after the 2015 election, someone defected from the PDP to the APC. The person's seat was declared vacant, and he remained outside until the 8th assembly. Until the next assembly came into being in June 2015. Then, sometime last year, a member of the Cross River State House of Assembly, Dr. Eluke, defected from the PDP.
Pronouncement on the issue.
No, after.
You should not exclude that constituency that you suspend. Or you know that is a judicial pronouncement.
Oh, yeah.
That when you suspend a senator
lawmaker.
or a lawmaker, you have alienated that constituency. So until that consciousness, people were being suspended at the will and caprices of the presiding officers. Once you defect from a political party, that is not easy.
Yes.
If you know, just you hit the hammer on you.
But if you defect into his own political party, you are welcome. The only time we had an exception, like I said, Senator David Mark, Professor Boroface, did not even leave his own party, left another party, Labour Party, to APC. So, I mean, it did not affect PDP. So, the point I wanted to make is not
okay. Now, let's talk about, as you just made mention of the fact that, the judicial officers the presiding officers rather had, more rights and input about these sections that are being ignored. In reality, they're not being practiced, to the fullest. Let's look at the lacuna that said judicial provisions, created. A situation where I know as a lawmaker that for me to be able to defect effectively, I have to prove that there's been a division or a merger in the party. What are we looking at to happen? Are we seeing, yes, we know that our constitution is not perfect in its totality, but isn't there a blind side to encouraging, because insinuations have come up, to the reason why there was the RAPC and then this, all of these things. Are we trying to say a senator whose goal is to defect from the party that he is would now start going to court to go and start proving of some sort or laying the groundwork foundation for
No. The person defecting does not need to go to court.
Exactly.
It is when he is taken to court that he will not justify that, look, I defected because there was a division in the party. And of course, our courts have said this issue of division is a matter of fact.
And okay, before we continue, we have a caller. Our Voxtel is open. Hello. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Yes, please, your name and your contribution, please.
My contribution is that...
Your name first. Your name first.
My name is Mohammed.
Okay, Mohammed. Calling from?
Kwara State.
Kwara State. Okay. Mohammed, what's your contribution?
Nasarawa State.
Nasarawa State. Okay. Thank you, Mohammed from Nasarawa. So what's your contribution?
My contribution is that we want National Assembly to conclude and to follow the law abiding for the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because we change PDP because for what they are doing, for everything they are doing worse more than the PDP again. So we don't want that. We want the constitution for the rules and regulation.
All right. All right, Mohammed from Nasarawa, thank you very much for that contribution. And that before,
yes.
And he seems to be a PDP sympathizer.
Yes, he made another point that we changed PDP because they were not doing well. Now APC is doing worse. I want to make a point here. The issue is not the political parties.
Yeah, exactly.
The issue is with us. Exactly. It is the operators of the system who are the problem. Ask Mr. Festus what is happening in the Nigerian Bar Association. With the annual general elections. Serious issues.
With the election itself.
Sure. You understand. And the MBA is, if you like, the most elitist professional association in Nigeria. Who cannot conduct, they cannot conduct a mere
Election.
Okay, I mean,
you have so it's not about Labour Party, it's not about APGA, it's not about APC, it's not about PDP. It's about us, the human beings who constitute these parties.
Okay, let's connect with our next caller. Hello there. Hello there. Hello, what is your name and where are you calling us from?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Alex. Hello, my name is Alex.
Alex, where are you calling us from? Hello, Alex.
Hello?
Could you turn down the volume of your television or walk away from a television set so we can stop having the call back?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, Alex, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from River State.
Okay, Alex, what is your question or your contribution?
No, my question is this: Saraki have left the APC for a PDP, and I thought that Saraki is supposed to drop the leader of the mantle, the mantle. Since he have left the PDP, APC for the PDP, so he's supposed to drop the leadership. So I was thinking that is it not right like that? So I just want to know.
Okay,
whether it's right or wrong.
All right, just stay tuned, Alex, and will you listen to Festus answer that question?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Is he not supposed to drop his seat as a Senate president?
You see, my challenge with Nigerians is that we need to get more politically enlightened. We need to know exactly the actions or their inactions, what it benefits the Nigerians. The fact that he has left his political party from one political party to the other, does it mean that he should leave or he should vacate the office of Senate President? No. The Constitution is clear about who becomes the Senate President. Senate President is to be elected among members, Section 50, among members of the Parliament, the Senate, and also the Speaker. Now, the question is, if he leaves, another person comes in, does it turn the table around economically? Does it turn the table around
not at all.
In terms of security, what you are facing? Does it turn the table around? Does it change all the dynamics and all the things we are seeing? No. So the question is that these politics we play, especially with the critical issues, and let's talk about it now. The issue that has to do with passing of
the INEC budget.
The INEC budget,
yes.
That has remained more like a problem between the two arms of government. Does it solve the problem? No, it doesn't. And also we need to trace the emergence of Bukola Saraki to 3 years ago, how he emerged and how the party itself has been unable to manage that office very well in terms of their relationship with the executive. So that has been a major problem up to now, and APC is still suffering from that. And APC feel that, it should be so person, it shouldn't be him. And since it's him, since it has been him, we need to look for a way to get him out by all means.
So now, when he asked that question, he made mention of the fact that he had a question, and I'm looking at his question from the angle of that section G, where they say that paragraph G rather, where they say that this in reality is not what happens. So what do we say about other? Because someone else can wake up tomorrow and tell me that this is there in the Constitution, but since in reality we are not to enforce this. Isn't that laying the precedence for a plethora of issues or a wide door to be open that cannot be contained?
Wide door in terms of
in terms of other aspects of other laid down procedures that should be ignored. Let's look at the fact that a seat will be declared vacant. Let's look at that first, the paragraph that gave us the section 68 before we had all of the other paragraphs. A seat in the House will be declared vacant on
those circumstances.
Exactly.
Where there is division, where there is merger, and when the person in question vacates his office, either by appointment or
so now the stakeholders not going, because the INEC has to be the one to determine that there was maybe a division or
no, not INEC. He's a presiding officer. He's a presiding officer.
So the commission, yes.
Like my colleague that says, it's a question of fact. Yes. But the question that people have always had is it a total division? You know what they say, total division? Like you have a party having 2 conventions, having 2 chairmen at the same time. So that's the question. Or if there is a minor...
So with this difference that he just made mention of, what is it? If it's total, then it takes effect.
It's justified. But then, even that is like attempting to answer the question reasonable. You understand? When you say reasonable ground, reasonable suspicion, that reasonable has a lot of question marks. What is reasonable depends on who is looking at it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So even total division also depends on who is looking at it.
But the question,
one judge in a court of first instance can say, oh, look, what happened in party A was a total division. The matter goes from there to the court of appeal, and the 3 wise men in the court of appeal will look at it differently. If it goes to the Supreme Court, they will also look at it differently. You know, so it is neither here nor there. You know, so going round, it takes us back to the same point. Everything depends on the discretion of the presiding officer. If he does not like your face and the actions you took, he declares your seat vacant, and heavens will not fall.
And the facts are due before him.
Yes.
And the question now is that there have been defections to throw and fro each of the parties.
Yes.
So why is this more important? Why should hell be let loose because of this defection? No.
Well, it's quite significant, you know, we would say, because yes, this has been happening. The political parties have even come, you know, to play a central role in this. We have, you know, the APC chairman coming out to make some salient points, and also the PDP haven't been left out, you know, coming out with a representative to make statements.
Yes, you see, all the issues the national chairman of the APC has raised are moral issues, right? Now, what happens in the National Assembly is governed and guided by law,
and their
not their rules.
Okay,
not morality.
Before you continue that thought, let's listen to the contribution. And hello there.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What is your name and where are you calling from?
It's Alex. I just called now.
Okay, yes, Alex. Has your question been answered?
Yes, no. You didn't give me the answer I'm supposed to get.
Okay, so what answer are you expecting?
Please, yes. Opabio defected from PDP to APC, and Opabio left his office as minority leader.
But he didn't leave his office as a senator, did he?
No. What did the office in the PDP as a majority? He left the office for them, and I was thinking that Saraki was wearing that crown based on APC. APC gave him the crown. You understand? Now he's leaving APC. It's just like when a son said that I don't want to give my father respect anymore. I want to leave his house. You can't do their own. Not the wearing the same crown and they still rude and it's not. So I want to get a real answer. You didn't give me the answer I'm supposed to get.
Alex, let me throw light on that. The position Senator Godswill Obodo Akpabio held was a party position, right? He was elected by PDP members
as a minority
in the Senate as their leader. So now that he has left that party, right, he cannot remain there. He has left the minority party to the majority party, for instance. So he cannot now continue leading those in the minority. Exactly. So that's different from the office of the Senate President. The Senate President was elected by all senators, including those who were in Labour Party at the time.
So it's a matter of nomenclature for Senator Akpabio, because you cannot continue to be a minority leader when you have changed to a different political party.
Yes,
so
that is
different,
correct. Yes,
completely distinguished.
Because most people, and it's quite good, Alex. We commend that particular question because most people tend to blur the lines.
You cannot remain the head of human resources in People's Television while you have left People's Television and joined the services of CNN or BBC.
Exactly.
True. That is quite a salient question. Now let's look forward. Let's see what all that's been happening has been leading us to somewhere. Let's look at September 25th. What are we to see happen?
Well, maybe for Festus, maybe he has the gift of is it clairvoyance now?
Foresight.
Premonition.
Yeah, to be able to determine what will happen. You know, but looking at it ordinarily, we cannot say with certainty what will happen. But certainly, there's going to be a lot of drama.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of drama. I've heard by way of rumor, I've not seen it from any authoritative source, that Senator Godswill Akpabio's seat will be declared vacant. At least I listened to the publicity secretary of the PDP yesterday. He said we only got a letter from Senator Akpabio that he's resigning his position as the minority leader. He didn't tell us he was leaving our party, which means there may be something in the offing to declare his seat vacant. And once we make that mistake, we have set fire that we may not be able to control. You understand?
Yes.
I pray that what happened in the House of Reps when they attempted removing, or in the process of removing Patricia Ete, I pray that doesn't happen, because we lost a member of the House of Reps, a medical doctor from Katsina. You know, I mean, as a result of the free for all fight.
Okay, let's listen to this this contribution from a caller. Hello there. Hello there. Okay. Hello there. I think we lost the call. Yes, you can continue with your line.
Yes, so I pray that that doesn't that doesn't occur. Because if you look at what is happening, I don't see a lot of people in the Senate still submitting to the leadership of Senator Bukola Saraki. I also do not see supporters of Bukola Saraki letting go. I pray we don't have a stalemate in the Senate. Senator Shehu Sani said something about 2 weeks ago on in one of the television stations that those who want the Senate president removed do not have the numbers, and that even the other people do not have the numbers to remove the president. Okay. You know, he's a wise man.
Yes, but
so some people may be angling towards removing the president of the Federal Republic by way of impeachment. Some other people are angling to remove the Senate president. So none of the two contending parties, APC and the PDP, will have the numbers to do it.
Let's take this call right now. Hello there. Hello there. I think we lost the call.
Yeah. So there's likely to be a stalemate, because right now everybody claims we have the majority, right? And you know there are people who lack courage, right? The day the House will reconvene,
that will be a different drama.
There may be some senators who will not be there. There are APC members, take it or leave it. Those who did not defect, those who are still in APC, who are loyal to Senator Bukola Saraki. There are also PDP members who do not like Senator Bukola Saraki's style, right? But because people may not want to betray the people they represent, they may not want to come out openly on that day, because that day everybody must bear his father's name, like we say in local parlance. So some people may just stay away, right? As we also say in local parlance, may they go fight the fight. When the dust settles, we appear.
Okay, how about you, Festus? Do you agree with that?
The issue of how the Senate president should be removed is also subject of some sort of controversy. Now, there have been some argument that it is the two-thirds majority of all the members. And the other argument is it is the two-thirds of members present at a particular sitting. So, at the end of the day, when eventually the House will reconvene, we are set for a drama.
Yes.
So it will not be determined on which would take. So imagine the way the Senate president itself emerges, the way he emerged, the last when
June 2015,
when the Senate president emerged. Not all the senators were there.
Yeah, about 54 of them.
Yeah, so they just the majority of them agreed. So the question now is it the majority of the members that will be present in a particular
or the whole House? Okay, let's quickly take this call before we continue on that. Hello there. Okay, I think the connection is quite bad, and they're trying to reach us.
So as we go and look forward to the days ahead, like my learned colleague here has said, we look forward to some sort of drama, a real drama. And you see, the chairman of the ruling party, Adams Oshiomhole, is also talking with with some sort of venom that the Senate president must be removed. And he has not backed down. And the Senate president is saying, you cannot remove me.
Okay,
so
let's quickly take this call and answer this question, because for want of time, I want us to be able to answer as much questions as possible. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Honorable Shagal Justice from Adamawa State.
Okay. And what is your contribution or your question? Hello. Your question or your contribution? I think we lost that call there. Sorry.
Yeah, Mr. Festus, the issue of what makes up
the quorum,
two-thirds has been settled by the Court of Appeal. In the case of National Assembly and President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I'm aware of that judgment.
Yes.
Yes, that is the two-third majority of all the members. I'm aware.
For Senate, 73, House of Reps, 240.
I'm aware. I'm aware of that judgment. But you know, in spite of that judgment, there are still people that are saying no. It has to be the members present at any particular, and the people who were pushing for this argument are saying, after all, the present Senate president emerged from two-thirds or the majority of the members present in a particular sitting, not the whole members. So it's an argument that neither here nor there. And at the end of the day, if such action is taken, you know, in Nigeria they'll say go to court. So you go to court while
the new Senate president
the new Senate president continues.
And you see people switching loyalty.
Of course.
That is quite scary, seeing that as the future of our polity. I know on today's episode, of course, Festus Fani-Fani and Max Oga have done their best, to shed more light. For want of time, we cannot take all calls, we cannot, get all the contributions, but I'm sure from all the facts that they've laid out, from what we have as a provision, and from what we see as the reality, given the judgment, like they said, National Assembly and the president, they're saying it has to be, that is the judgment that has been given. The insinuations from those saying it has to be the members sitting, they are just insinuations, like Festus said. If you have a problem, you take it to court. I know that more questions are going to be coming up in our minds come September, 25th. And of course, like I said, we are on ground at the National Assembly currently observing if anything is going to go, happen, even though they came out to say that they are not going to be meeting or sitting today. I'm sure, of course, you being locked in on PPTV Situation Room today, you've been enlightened. You've known more. There's some blurry lines that have been there that even I myself, have, been clarified on. For want of time, I want to say thank you very much once more, Max Oga and Festus Fani-Fani. Of course, you would definitely come back on the program, to talk more and shed more light on this. It has been a wonderful, wonderful episode today. And of course, same time, same station next week. I remain Aisha Jibrin. Bye for now.